Hello, good people of PWIP, Josh again, and I'm very much excited to share the Myanmar story with you all. It was an amazing place that I visited where I could see a lot of potential when it comes to export market. And in the recent visit, I have seen a very similar kind of rice variety that we have in India. Like we call it as IR64, and then we also have Swarna rice. Very similar varieties that I have explored it.
Hey Josh, you were into Myanmar, right? So you might have, I heard you saw long grain and short grain varieties. Do we have that in Myanmar also? Yeah, is it only specified to India?
So yeah, they do also have long grain and short grain variety. So there are two varieties majorly that it's been exported from Myanmar, as you asked. The long grain is called as Emata, and then the short grain is called Suiwar. So these are the local names there. But if you see, it's very similar to IR64 and Swarna, what they have.
Any other varieties are there?
Of course, yes. They have somewhere around 9 to 10 varieties of rice. And then mostly exported rice these are the varieties, which is long grain and short grain, Emata and Suiwar. And if you see, these quality is also high and premium quality, which is equivalent to, if you see from Vietnam, they have jasmine rice, right? It's all, this Emata rice looks very similar to jasmine rice. In other countries, if you see, for example, Europe imports a lot of Emata rice because it's premium, it's good in quality, its length is also longer than any other varieties that are sold in Myanmar.
India produces around 150-170 million tons of rice, right?
Right.
What is the Myanmar market there?
So I see the Myanmar market somewhere around 24 to 25 million ton. I think so. That is the cap in a recent visit. But recently that we have explored, that in 2023 to 2024, Myanmar is actually planning to double it down. So that means they are actually planning the production of 50 million tons of rice, which is actually, it can do it because they have a vast agricultural land, and also most of the exports are not done right now from there. But now as India has a ban, I think so more there is a lot of opportunity for Myanmar and Thailand and Vietnam.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you you went into all these markets and you spoke to a lot of millers, exporters there, and PWIP is planning to have a collaboration with them, right?
Right.
So what markets are you planning to export from there?
So if you see right now, as we were talking, now raw rice is banned from India, right? You cannot do raw rice exports. So for a merchant trader, what happens, he gets an opportunity where he can buy from Myanmar, and then raw rice consumption countries are the Southeast Asian market countries, wherein like Vietnam and Singapore or Malaysia, and these are the places they consume a lot of raw rice. So maybe the raw rice business will shift to Myanmar, and then from there and neighboring countries like Thailand, from there they may export. So if you see from Myanmar, Europe and Southeast Asia market is the biggest market, and Myanmar also produces a lot of broken rice, as in India the broken rice is banned. Again, Africa imports a lot of broken rice. I would say all of the broken rice as of now from Myanmar. So broken rice market is also very good out there, and mostly the main business happens between China and Myanmar, because China and Myanmar has a very good relationship, and then they have cross-border trade, and they do not just ship out from the seaway, they also have roadway transportation. So in that case, their import-export becomes very easy and feasible. Also, Myanmar buys a lot of other things from China as well. So
hey, but also you visited Myanmar's a lot of mills, right? And you spoke to millers there.
Right.
So is it similar infrastructure and all the machineries similar to India, or is it different in a way?
So when it comes to rice, the machineries are very similar. I mean, they also import machines from China and Japan, and most of the rice mill when I visited, there was Satake and there were Bueller. These are the companies. Normally there are big players into rice mill, and the setup is very similar like what in India it is. It is a very similar setup, and the infrastructure, of course, in India you don't see you see a lot of processing unit when it comes to rice, and you have two different things, right? Like one is a processing unit and it is a one full-fledged rice mill. But in Myanmar, it's all are like rice mills. So they do complete not only rice to rice processing, but they do also the fresh milling, like what we say for newly harvested paddy. So they do that. This was the discussion with my colleague. To know more of rice varieties, stay tuned for the second episode.